The Gene Siskel Film Center's annual Renaissance Gala celebrates an outstanding member of the film community with a swank and enlightening soiree every year. Past honorees include George Lucas, Scarlett Johansson, and Jamie Foxx. For 2018, we've got Ethan Hawke. I want to ask about your current projects.
Please do.
Excellent. Blaze.
Yeah.
So, what made you think that Ben Dickey could handle that role? And how did you feel as a director when he won the Sundance Award for Achievement in Acting?
You know, it was one of the best professional moments of my life, to be honest, mostly because when I was younger, I would often try to, move outside my lane. I tried writing and directing and doing different things because I had a viewpoint on the arts that they were all a lot more similar than anybody pretended. And I really felt, watching Ben play music, that he was a performer. He's just a natural born performer, storyteller, whether it's a songsmith or, most of performing Shakespeare is singing. It's all the same. Yeah, exactly. It's all the same energy about storytelling and communicating your heart to somebody else. And so I knew he could do it. But that said, once it really did go well, it surprised even me.
And how did you feel when he won the award for the Sundance, the Best Acting Achievement? You got him into it.
I felt several things as a friend. I've been his friend for a long time, so I was happy for him and that. Then as his director, I was proud of myself. For the movie, I was happy because I know that a great performance gives people a reason to see a movie. And Ben really delivered.
And then as far as First Reformed is concerned, you told Stephen Colbert that it's giving a voice to people who are struggling to make sense of today's world. How does it do that, and what, if anything, are you struggling to understand in today's craziness?
Well, I don't think anybody turns on the news and feels good. I mean, go, oh, God, everything's under control. I don't think anybody thinks that. I mean, so making sense, asking adult questions, grown-up questions about faith and leadership and how to integrate our love and our hope and our despair into one kind of grown-up voice. I mean, I think that's what most of us are looking for, and I think one thing that's beautiful about a great writer, Paul Schrader wrote Taxi Driver, which gave voice to a lot of the anxiety of what was happening in the 70s and that whole kind of period of alienation. And this is a more mature, sober look at alienation, and you hear a much wiser, older voice, more controlled voice speaking with the same rage.
In what ways is it the update of Taxi Driver, as the AV Club called it? And in what ways is it like nothing that's ever been seen before?
Well, I think any great writer, whether you're talking about Woody Allen or Sam Shepard or Virginia Woolf or Emily, whoever you're talking about, no, not that, not me. A really great writer, a writer who has a voice of their own. That voice has certain consistencies. Early Shepard plays are a lot like later Shepard plays. There's certain language and themes that you feel, and Schrader's the same way. There's certain themes that echo throughout. Yeah.
So what did you do to research the role of a preacher, and how did you convert that into your own style, other than your own personal preaching experience?
My own personal. Well, there is something about acting and preaching that can be similar, but when I was a kid, I was confirmed in the Episcopal faith, and I had a priest named Reverend Jean Smith. It was a woman, and she is a woman, and she was an incredible thinker and a social advocate and a mystical person. And I feel really blessed to have her as the person who confirmed me, and her ideology and the way that she thought about faith was incredibly supple, really valuable to a young person because she wasn't scared of hearing anything.
Are you in contact with her still?
No, I haven't talked to her in a few years.
Awesome.
I was for a while, but I have a very, I've always been interested in issues of faith and why we're born and why we have to die. And you don't see a lot of priests in movies. I mean, if you do, it's like they're either, exorcising demons or they're a joke or, some holier than thou type, but you don't see a real serious portrait of a human being who's dedicated their life to their faith. And Reverend Toller was a great character. Paul Schrader has a lot to say about the subject matter. He's extremely well educated about it, and it was really easy, to be honest.
Excellent. This is my last question. So you've won a lot of awards, and you've deserved them all, but this is This is the Renaissance Award from the Gene Siskel Film Center in Chicago. In what way is that cooler than any other achievement that you've ever had?
Well, seeing Gene Siskel's name on there is, for me, I remember religiously watching his show and learning about movies and learning how to think about movies. And he would watch one movie and cite another 2 movies about what it was like. And I think, oh, I have to see that movie. And, that was in a time when film criticism was a lot more than it is today. It was hard to get to that position, to have a voice reviewing movies. It's very difficult when he was coming up. Now anybody can write on the internet, and so it waters it down. But I learned a lot. And, it's a funny thing about the word Renaissance, because it's actually the idea that all of us can do more than one thing, the idea that all of us can explore our whole self and integrate our whole self is something that's been really valuable to me. And so it means a lot.
Excellent. Well deserved, and congratulations. Thanks for your time. Take care, Ethan. Well, that's a wrap. Besides being extremely talented, Ethan Hawke has proven himself to be really, really modest, down to earth, and a nice guy. Definitely deserving all the accolades he's getting now from Chicago's Gene Siskel Film Center. This is Dan Patton signing off. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you later.